Okay. Turn that up. My fried chicken commercial should be finished playing. I'm looking for my volume. I wonder why I don't hear anything. Y'all gotta turn this up. See? That's why I do quality control checks. Volume, function. Ollie Oxenfree. Testing. LA, are you there? Present. Okay, so let me pause this so I don't get lost. Okay. A girl, LA. Okay, I'm back. I figured it out. It's been a long time, seems like to me. Thank you guys for coming in. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy, and I just did a sound check. Lighting, please. Lighting. Let's make it as bright as... Ah! Let's make it as bright as possible. How are you doing? Hi, Chile. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Lilalian Goddess. A girl. Let's see here. So I have everything set up. Let me close these things out. Once again, thank you guys for coming in. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Lilalian Goddess, what are you two talking about right now? Last time you were actually having a side conversation. So I want to know if you're referring to a side conversation that you're having, just so everyone in the chat can know that you are okay, and myself included. I know when you're talking before, you were referring to your pet dog. Is your dog okay? Are you playing around? Are you playing around? If you are, I'm going to ask you one good time to not do that. And for the first time in YouTube history, I will have to block you or put you on timeout. So better get your answers together. And I give you a little time to figure out what you want to do, or I will time you out, okay? So I'm going to ask for the record, are you okay? And keep moving forward. Today's topic is, I want to talk about the YouTube purge. That's what we used to call it, like in the past. The YouTube purge, and I've survived all of them. Even though the numbers show differently, I survived. So congratulations me. I'm giving myself a pat on the back. Now, you know when I would say giving myself a pat on the back, it would be my shoulder. So I'm like, well, I just give myself a pat on the shoulder. But now, now I've officially given myself a pat on the back. Thank you guys for coming in. So I'm getting ready to see what she's saying. She responded, hang on, guys. No, I am. So okay. Well, make sure you notify like someone who's older than you to let them know how you feel about the situation. Don't just hold that in, okay? I do have videos in reference to situations like that. There's an adult or someone you trust that you can share that information with. It's best that you do that immediately, and then you know, take the next step. I'm sorry that you're going through that, but take charge, use your voice, find your words, and express how you are feeling. It's time for you to be brave and be strong, okay? I love you, and keep us posted. I'm going to continue on with the live stream, okay? All right. Now, thank you guys for joining in. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. We are talking about the YouTube purge. Right now, it's called something else. More or less, everyone's talking about they're calling it YouTube updates. So I brought up a couple of things I actually want to share with you. I'll be reading from the computer. Compute this. And I have the first tab up right now. I want to read from AI Overview first. I really enjoy reading from AI Overview because it's like, it's true. AI is with the times, right? So according to AI Overview, based on what I typed in, it says YouTube is updating its monetization policies with new rules taking effect on July 15, which is in a couple of days. This change is primarily focused on identifying and limiting the monetization of inauthentic content, including mass-produced and repetitive videos. Oh, here it is. While reaction clips, and commentary channels aren't specifically banned, They will face increased scrutiny to ensure they add original value to the content. Now, I wanted to touch on this again because number one, I'm excited that this is happening because that's a win for me and all the original content creators where, you know, we'll actually have a bigger opportunity to shine. But when I'm going down and watching all the YouTubers who are in my timeline and YouTubers that I don't follow, because since I'm talking about the topic and trying to read up about the topic, it's like they're spinning it in a whole nother way where it made me kind of want to look further into the information to see exactly what they're saying. For example, Auntie Hammy, she is some kind of woman because you know how her content is. So I definitely always have to have her on in the background because her visuals are not for she's tailored more to guys. But what she says is a lot of good information. So it was funny listening to her take on it. It was funny listening to people my age's take. And then, you know, from the actual professional side of YouTube people, it was nice hearing their take. So what I'm saying is I gather the information, and what they're saying on one same platform is that the people who are doing lazy content, just like, yeah, my name is so and so and Chewbacca right here sitting next to me, and we just gonna watch all of their video and talk like this and stop the video every 25 minutes and say something like, yeah, we're gonna start this video back up. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Those kinds of those kinds of people. And Auntie Hammy was referring to, unfortunately, how she actually called them out. And I'm really trying to keep myself distanced from all the YouTube drama because behind the scenes it's getting really tough out here and getting really more nasty. So not because I don't want to give people shouts out, it's just to protect my peace. I'm not going to say who she called out specifically, but she was actually rejoicing because said YouTuber has been lifting all of her content and just dumping it on his platform and not really doing anything. So she was upset that he was getting paid and she was doing like 3 and 4 hours of video content. Auntie Hammy's first video right now is like 4 hours long. So let's just say that means all they have to do is just basically download her content, upload it on their platform, and just change the thumbnail, and then like, bam, that's my work. I made a video maybe a couple years or so. Well, it seems like a couple years or so back. I had that same problem, and I told YouTube about it, where I lost thousands of views and hundreds of watch time hours because somebody somehow had my TGIF Friday content. They used my thumbnail, but every time they clicked on my video, it took them to some other woman's video. So I reported it, I recorded it, and I called it out. So it's like, that's the kind of stuff they're cracking down on. So I'm very thankful to be caught up in the good side of YouTube where I'm not losing and all the people who are lazy are winning. Thank you so much, my moderator, Chile, for putting that valuable information in there. I couldn't have said it any better. Once again, we are here for you, Lilani and Goddess. You've been keeping us abreast with what's going on in your life. And once again, side note, we did have a situation where things happened maybe 5 months ago where Spicy Waffle was one of my regulars. Something happened with them, so I made sure to stay on the line to make sure everything was okay. Come to find out, truck tipped over in their neighborhood and the fire department knocked on their door early in the morning and told them that their house was okay. They did not have to evacuate, but other houses had to evacuate. So things just get real on YouTube live stream, but I will continue to keep moving forward. Once again, we do love you guys and we are here for you. And I'm going to find my notes now that I took. What should I say that I took? I'm going to say notes that I gathered by simply asking the question on AI overview. Now I'm moving around here because the way I have it set up, I had to find my tab. I found it and it's back up on here. Once again, thank you, Chile, my mod, for helping get that together on there. So While reaction clips and commentary channels aren't specifically banned, they will face increased scrutiny to ensure they add original value to the content. I wanted a more in-depth definition from exactly where the source is coming from, which is YouTube. So here's a more detailed breakdown, thankfully, and it says inauthentic content. YouTube is updating its definition of inauthentic content to better identify mass-produced, repetitive, and spam-like videos, which is a ton of that flying around. Thank you. Monetization requirements. Now, this is something here. Let me see. To be eligible for the YouTube Partner Program, channels must now have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours valid watch time hours, or 10 million YouTube short views. Moving on from that, girl, I know some things. 10 million spins. Yeah. Focus on originality, and authenticity. Update emphasizes the creators need to add original commentary, narration, or creative value to their content to be eligible for monetization. So what they're doing is, wow, going back to how they originally started. It makes me think of the last, was it Mission Impossible? No, not the last Mission Impossible, but it's kind of the same thing. I get those two mixed up. James Bond, Old Dog, New Tricks. That was a wonderful and is one of my favorite James Bond movies, because they were getting their behind served to them. And they are vets, you know? And despite them being vets, people were still coming after them because basically they were on the side of truth. And so what they had to revert back to in the last installment of the James Bond movies was to go back to where it all began. They went back to this old abandoned mansion, which reminded me of Bruce Wayne of the time. They went back there. They went back to the basics of how they first started up. And they were able to win. It was very, very hard because, you know, they're just fighting against modern day technology. No different from the James Bond movie, but they won. There were some casualties. Rest in peace, my girl. But, you know, in real life, she's like 185 million years old. So to be able to make that movie and finish out with her in it, it was a great thing. So having said that, with the James Bond thing, and that's how I feel with YouTube. Old dog, new tricks. Nothing wrong with that. It's just rolling with the times and getting back to the originality of everything, because that's what it was all about. YouTube broadcaster herself. I must say, what's her name, if I can remember? I like listening to her. She has a European accent. As of right now, her name escapes me, and that's too bad. But I really like to listen to her. She makes a lot of documentary videos and YouTube broadcast yourself. That's what it's all about. So reaction channels are not being banned, but creators must ensure their videos add original value, such as commentary, narration, or creative edits. I would like for them to dive deeper on what they mean by that, because the reaction videos have to just not be how I did that example. They watch somebody's entire video and not really say anything. And the only thing they do is shrink down the whole video or the whole body of somebody's work. And then they're just there. So that's their form of saying that is different and changing. Albeit that is true, it's lazy. You know how they say it's a lazy read? When they want to talk about somebody, the first thing they talk about is the obvious. Like me, for example, you smile too much. I'm like, that's a lazy read. Bring something. Bring it. So that's what YouTube is talking about in general. They want the lazy people to just have several seats, in the words of Wendy Williams. Round of applause for Wendy Williams. How you doing? Word on the curve, Wendy Williams is doing better than ever. I had to circle around to see. They have some signings where she's in like some cute little outfits. I was so happy for her. AI-generated content. I am glad they're cracking down on this, because it was about to get out of hand. Totally. YouTube is taking steps to address the proliferation of low quality AI generated content. Dog. They just told y'all off in an educated way. While not explicitly banned, creators using AI tools to generate content at scale should ensure their videos are original and add value. Like, hey Siri. I know it's not AI in a way. Like, hey Siri. Yes. I want you to make a video about a man skiing in the jungle and reading a book at the same time. Okay, auto-generating. And then it makes this whole thing. And then at the end of it, like, I made that. I'm like, technically you didn't. That don't count. That's not enough. You gotta do more than just... You gotta do more than that. You have to do more than that. I really want YouTube to make this more clear. So I'm sifting through these notes and updates. I would love them to be a little bit more specific, even though I'm getting it. No demonetization of existing channels. What? Existing channels that are already monetized and follow the existing policies will not be automatically demonetized. So maybe they're going to give the people who are in that realm of making lazy content the opportunity to turn around. Now, when we had the YouTube purge, we didn't have an opportunity. You woke up one day and your stuff was just, you had a strike, or it was gone, or they deleted it without asking you, like, you want to make changes or just keep all the work you made. You just woke up one morning and it's like, oh man, I didn't even get a chance to download it. Y'all just took matters into your own hands. So no changes to reuse content policy. The existing policy on reused content, which includes commentary clips, compilations and reaction videos, remain unchanged. I need more information. In essence, YouTube is aiming to reward creators who produce original, authentic content and to discourage the practice of mass producing low effort videos. I took the time, or I've taken the liberty to do a little more information. I went to supportgoogle.com and I was hoping to find like a Harry Potter book thick worth of information, but it's just one little block. And I'm surprised because it just seems like they need to, in this day and age of social media and technology, I feel they should, I believe they should have it be a little more clear. So YouTube, to me, this is showing that although they are getting ahead of the game and not wanting to lose again, they too are still working out the changes. That's how I'm taking it. So they put their foot down by declaring that this is what's going to happen come June 15th, but it's still not concrete enough, being, with them being completely specific. Rules are rules, right? Like, don't cross the street when traffic's crossing. Check, I get it. We need a little more direction in that, because as I'm seeing in YouTube, as I said, from the scale of YouTubers that I watch, from the professional to Auntie Hammy to people my age and the younger ones who are in their 20s, they are really using their imagination in reference to who's going to get the axe and who's not. So if it's open for interpretation, I don't want to overly get excited and you guys really aren't going to take action like how we're really hoping that you are, rejoicing and being thankful that you are going to put the axe down and allow original content creators to be able to breathe and come up for air. So having said that, it has here, once again, under supportgoogle.com, it says, this article summarizes recent and past updates made to YouTube policies. For other updates relevant to YouTube creators, check out Creator Updates. YouTube Partner Program, July 2025. On July, it says here, July 25 updates to ad sensitive categories. Now this is new to me. This one don't apply to me, so I'm not gonna read that. But that will actually apply to, like how I was referencing Auntie Hammy. It will apply for her because she has to check the box for mature audiences 18 and older because how she dresses and the verbiage that comes out of her mouth. So that applies to them. It doesn't apply to me. But underneath that is the big one, the YouTube Purge of 2025. July 2025 updates the YouTube Partner Program monetization policies. In order to monetize as part of the YouTube Partner Program, also known as YPP, YouTube has always required creators to upload original and authentic content. On July 15, 2025, YouTube is updating our guidelines to better identify mass-produced repetitive content. This update better reflects what inauthentic content really looks like today. We are well aware of the videos where people put in effort and where people don't put in effort. What's up, Kenneth Owens? Welcome to the party. We are talking about the YouTube purge. Having said that, I am going to type in YouTube purge and see if AI overview will bring up the lingo that used to be used for in YouTube past. I am considered a YouTube OG, and that's what we used to say when YouTubers had to brace for impact as the changes came and there was not much we could do about it. So I'm going to type in explain the YouTube purge. Explain what the YouTube purge means. Explain what the... Ooh, I'm glad the dog days are over. There, so I typed it in. So I typed in explain what the YouTube purge means, and AI overview gave a quick answer and says the YouTube purge refers to YouTube's practice of removing inactive or fake subscribers, likes, and views from users' accounts. This is done to maintain the integrity of the platform and ensure that metrics reflect genuine engagement. It's a routine process, sometimes referred to as an automatic cleanup. Thank you for asking about the mod we are currently filled that is currently being fulfilled. Well, I appreciate you for asking. Thank you so much. Here's a more detailed explanation on the YouTube purge. YouTube regularly reviews subscribers, likes, and view counts to identify and remove accounts that are inactive, fake, emphasis on the bots, or otherwise violate the platform's policies. Why it happens. This practice aims to ensure that metrics on the platform accurately reflect genuine engagement with the content. It helps prevent manipulation of stats and maintains a healthy ecosystem for creators and views. How are they going to get a handle on that? I honestly don't know. It's funny listening to the world of Twitch and YouTube actually clash and merge right before our eyes, because now we are getting Twitch people who are putting their content over here and uploading it. Thank you for the wave. Hi. And so now I'm hearing a mesh of what's going on in the Twitch community coming over here. And what the Twitch community is saying is that they know is an influx of people buying bots over there in Twitch. You know, there's so many people buying robots over there. So now all that stuff is coming over here. It sounds like it's about to be one big fat deep impact over here as all these social media platforms merge and collide with one another. So having said that, if Twitch is having an issue with people buying robots and still thriving, like there ain't nothing wrong going on, how in the world YouTube gonna put a buckle under this if it's continuously happening? The first step is to start identifying lazy content, going back to the basics and just like, yo, that's not it. Next, you know. And so it says here, as I continue, how it impacts creators. Small creators may experience a more noticeable impact as inactive or fake subscribers are removed, potentially causing a decrease in subscriber counts and engagement metrics. Me, on the other hand, I was getting original people coming in, but due to the changes of the YouTube purges, I was getting hit in ways that had nothing to do with fake robots or artificial things. I was getting hit because of the copyright strikes with the music as they started switching gears all of a sudden with not being able to monetize my videos because of the music. Another YouTube purge happened when I and other big YouTube content creators started to realize when they uploaded videos, their videos started getting intentionally miscategorized. Instead of saying, like, if I'm typing about the YouTube updates, videos will fall into the same vein. That video, if that's why you label it, right? You give your video an accurate title so it can fall into the timeline of everything else. Kind of like a network algorithm. We have a network channel, a Netflix channel, and you build it to sync up to all the things you like. That's how it used to be. But then one sweet day, our videos started getting miscategorized, and I started seeing my videos show up in countries that said Indonesia. No shade to Indonesia, but it didn't match what it had nothing to do with what my video was. So that was another thing that happened, and that never got fixed for a long time. So I saw the impact of that quickly because I was on a YouTube channel, and so I really got lost in the shuffle. Another one was when they just did a full out overall YouTube purge. They didn't care who was there. Everybody got the business. So my numbers got chopped in half, and I'd made a video about that called the YouTube bot drop. So this time, I don't think I have anything to worry about. I do not. Thank you guys for coming in. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Man, this is really cool. We had another birthday recently. In addition to that, Auntie Hammy, her birthday is actually on the day of the YouTube purge. And it was funny because she was like, I got my birthday wish. For all the content creators who don't do anything to have their day. And that's crazy. It's true. Her birthday is on the July 15th, so happy birthday. She provides valuable information. Let me shout out you really quickly while I have some time in between. Happy birthday, BIRTHDAY. Let me find a birthday cake emoji. Let's see here, CAKE. Is it true that Powerpuff Girls are going to have new episodes? Putting these emoji birthday cakes in here reminds me of the Powerpuff Girls. That's what made me think of it. Seeing all these cute emojis I'm going through really quickly. There you go. And happy birthday to you. I am going back to my digitized notes. Just a moment as I look over here to find it. My tabulator isn't tabulating. Tabulator isn't tabulating. Okay. Once again, how it impacts creators. Small creators may experience a more noticeable impact as inactive or fake subscribers are removed, potentially causing a decrease in subscriber counts and engagements and metrics. Not just subscribers. The purge can also affect likes, dislikes, and view counts as YouTube identifies or removes fake or invalid engagement. I'm wondering because, like, for example, on TikTok, have they actually I'm wondering if, like, has the rule for TikTok changed? I was doing really well. Now, I'm not giving excuses. I'm giving examples of how things can fluctuate your productivity and kind of hinder or slow down your growth on the platform. So there was a time when I was on TikTok really heavy, and there was this thing going around where they would silence your account because if someone came in and went down all your videos and just kept pushing like, I think after the 13th like in the row, they would consider that as being a spam or a bot. I'm like, how could that be a spam or a bot if other people are just going through my video, liking my stuff, which you encourage to pump out good content, which I was, and they're just liking everything I do. But it was like they use it against you because when that happened, I would always notice when I was doing good, someone would come in and like all my things, and my engagement would just decrease. Just like that. and then I would have to wait a day or two for it to build the momentum to build back up, but it would stifle my flow. And I don't think that's right, because if they want you to grow, they want you to create content, you're going to get likes. So that's dumb. So that's how I see how YouTube operates, which is backwards. It gives the wrong people too much power to have control over the content's body of work. So I'm wondering if TikTok fixed that, and I'm wondering if with this new YouTube purge, YouTube will be a bit more thoughtful in how they do the purging. And right here it says not a one-time event. The purge is an ongoing process, not a single event, though it may be more noticeable at certain times. I've noticed every time. They have a deep dive. How much more can they tell us? Whew. Let me turn this light down really quickly. It says here, purge inactive bank accounts. Removing content. Number 2, removing content that violates guidelines. YouTube maintains a set of community guidelines that prohibit certain types of content such as hate speech, harassment, and spam. I don't think they do a good job at that. Speaking of bigger content creators where they see it, but it goes by so fast. Sometimes they'll be like, you guys supposed don't have anything else to do. I remember Funky Dineva saying that. I remember Lovely T saying that sometimes when she do actually want to take time to engage with you guys. Like when she gets towards the end of her video, she'll go to the top where Alexander Rogers, they'll go to the top and spend like the last 15 minutes hanging out with you guys and trying to catch up on some of the comments. But when they actually take the time to want to engage and involve themselves with you, they see all the, the bad words and the harassment and all that stuff. And like, you guys really don't have anything else to do. So it makes them more reluctant to want to involve themselves in that. YouTube hasn't really done a good job with that. When content is found to violate these guidelines, YouTube may remove their videos or even terminate the channels responsible. In some cases, content creators have accused YouTube of wrongly removing their content or targeting them with purges, and I've seen that. And it is unfortunately still happening. And it's a sad thing. It's a very sad thing. I would love for them to tighten that up. And having said that, I have my clipboard and now I'm looking for my ink pen, because that is something I would like to make an open letter to with YouTube, because they do listen, but you have to at them. And I don't like to at them all the time because they are busy. And when I at them, I want it to be of something of substance, and it's got to be dang on important. Y'all, I don't know where my ink pen is at. I really try to keep everything in one place. I want to write the note down. I found it. So let me put this in here really quickly. Please stand by as I type this in as a potential topic. I think you are. Just one moment. There. I wrote it down. Perfect. E for excellent and yay me. Where's my water? I'm gonna get a sip of water. I'm having a good time learning things on here, or refreshing my memory on here. So it says, in some cases, content creators have accused YouTube of wrongly removing their content or targeting them with purges, says the Washington Post. Now that's a whole nother video within itself. Number 3, focusing on original and authentic content. Recently, YouTube has been emphasizing the importance of original and authentic content for channels participating in the YouTube Partner Program and the people who are aspiring to be a part of that. Let's not leave out the people who are aspiring to be that. Starting July 2025, YouTube is implementing stricter guidelines for identifying mass-produced, repetitive, or low-effort content. which may lead to demonetization for some creators. That word, man, that's just an awful word. When I see the word demonetization, I just think of this big old steamroller. You guys remember Who Framed Roger Rabbit when they that crazy man had that steamroller and he was running over his own kind. You monster. You monster. Why would you? He was running over his own people. But yeah, that's what that reminds me of, though. Jessica Rabbit was like, oh no, it's Dip. But that's the first and only time she came out of character. When she saw that Dip, that's what made the tunes pass away. Boy, what's that book called with the moon on the cover and the blue water? She's come undone. Oh man, so continuing on, it says this push for originality and authenticity could be seen as a form of purge, targeting content that relies heavily on automation, AI-generated videos, or reused content without adding significant value or commentary. Exactly. Let me scroll up here. In essence, while the term YouTube purge might not be an official designation, it captures the various ways in which YouTube actively manages and regulates content accounts and subscribers on its platform, sometimes resulting in the removal or restrictions of certain elements. I've been restricted. And there are times where I will share my YouTube platform when I was at work. I'm like, it's Elay TV, and they'll show me their screen. It's like, I don't see you. I'm like, wow. And I will look, and I wouldn't be on there, or they'll show someone who wasn't me. I'm like, come on, guys. I'm not even the truther. WTF. That's what will bother me. That's what will bother me. I'm not even the truther like that. And folks couldn't find me. So they would have to manually do all this extra stuff. And people don't have patience to want to do that. We're in the TikTok era. People don't use microwaves anymore. They just eat it right out of the package. Be like, God got me. That's where we are. So you really think they're going to take out extra effort to go look for my channel? No. And that's one of the deterrents that been made mentioned on here as a list of intentional targeting and difficulties. So it says here, in essence, while the term YouTube purge might not be an official designation, it captures the various ways in which YouTube actively manages and regulates content accounts and subscribers on this platform, sometimes resulting in the removal or restriction of certain elements. The recent emphasis on originality and authenticity in the YPP, which is YouTube Partner Program, could be specific purge, could be the specific purge the user is referring to. I wish they talked about it more. All right, little alien goddess. Once again, we have a disclaimer for you with a message on what you can do, and we hope for the best on that. So that's what the YouTube purge means according to AI Overview. I would like to find more information in reference to that, but boy, we're entering a new world of history in reference to updates. I'm going to ask one more question to see if I can get more of a tailored answer in reference to that and see what comes up with there. We've got the explanation, the go to all. Do you guys remember when they used to call it the YouTube purge? Let's see here. What is the YouTube subscriber purge? What is the full meaning of purge? Let's see here. I'm going to type it in one more way and see what happens. What is the oops. So I asked the same question but reworded it a different way. It says YouTube purge is also known as audit or subscriber purge. Is YouTube period process of removing inactive, fake, or spam accounts for subscriber lists? This cleaning of subscriber counts can result in channels losing subscribers, even those who were previously active. YouTube does this to ensure subscriber counts accurately reflect genuine engagement. Having said that, there was a lot of times when YouTubers were like, when we did lives once again for Lovely Tea and just all the big content creators, they were complaining that their subscribers who were with them from day one, they were complaining in the live saying, I've been subscribed with you from day one and it unsubscribed me. I've been a victim of that too. And it's like, I've been subscribed to these people from day one, but it's unsubscribing me involuntarily and I'm active on there. It just happened to everybody, which don't make sense because how it's supposed to build like a, a loyalty thing. So for them to force you to resubscribe to someone and just build that momentum back up, it takes the spotlight of all the people who've been with you for such a long time, because when you come in, you don't see that anymore. It just kind of deflates a lot of things. I would like for them to restore that. It seems like YouTube have access to restore certain things like that. So I'm hoping that they restore that if it's possible. And having said that, I've learned a lot. I was reminded about a lot of things, and it helped me reflect on a lot of things in reference to the troubles and inconsistencies that happens within the YouTube purge situation and how a lot of people get affected. And it makes an impact and it's really noticeable, right? So once it says here, when the user deletes their Google account, their YouTube account is also removed and they cease to be counted as subscribers. That's understandable. So thanks guys. I had a great time talking about this. After typing this, I got a whole nother list of things, but it's about 45 minutes into the video and I do want to find a great time to wrap this up. Let me go to the bottom here where there's a brief summary and it says what to expect during the purge. Channels might see a noticeable decrease in their subscriber count, potentially in the hundreds or even thousands depending on the channel size. The purge can affect channels of all sizes, including large channels with millions of subscribers, and that's case in point what I was explaining. Even the bigger contents are seeing it. You know, when you're wealthy, when you see like the small surcharges come out or the ghost charges like Cash App have, that I felt victim of and other people felt victim of when I used to work with, ghost charges, it's hard to notice those things or they're so small to care. But when the YouTubers who have those millions of subscribers and that amount of income come out and complain with the small content creators saying they are noticing it, if they are noticing it, and some of them actually provide their algorithm and share with us to show just how authentic it is and how troubling it is for them, which I do appreciate, to show that they're not capping to just find the reason to sympathize with us. It's really impacting them and they're stressing out. That's a big thing when the big ones are complaining about it. So having said that, the purge can affect channels of all sizes, including large channels with millions of subscribers. There was a point when Mr. Beast even complaining. That dude is like the Monopoly guy. So for him to even notice things when purges did happen, that's saying a lot still. And they gotta tighten that up. Creators can track the impact of the purge in their YouTube analytics under closed accounts. And lastly, it's important to remember that this is a routine process, y'all, and not necessarily indicative of a problem with the channel itself. And right there, I will close with the YouTube changes and the policies and the web of things that can deeply affect and impact one's channel. Let's see here. Let me go through here. I didn't do a survey today, so there's not a poll for me to close in there. And let me bring up this information really quickly so I can move forward with my evening. Let's see here, a copy and paste some information in here. Let me make sure I spell it correctly first, because I mean, if you don't spell it right, you won't find your answer. There you go, and I'll close with that right there. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is LA, pronounced like LA like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. I want to thank you guys for coming in, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And you know, life happens, things get real. So once again, prayers go to the lonely and goddess. It just reminds me of a time with Spicy Waffle had a situation. We stayed on the line and made sure that he and his family were okay. Come to find out, they thankfully did not have to evacuate their house. There's just times when things just happen, and keep pushing forward and keep the faith. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And you guys, I wish you best of luck and success come July 15th on your channels. Stay encouraged, be encouraged, keep being your authentic selves, and I will see you on next video. Thank you and good night. Bye.